Hey everybody, I'm that girl Goddess. Excuse the hair, the wind was blowing. I'm in my car getting ready to go to work. And God have been he has been nagging me, and I ain't gonna say the word nag, but he been on me to talk about a few things. And one of the number one things is how Christians misrepresent themselves in relationships. You know, sometimes we see somebody and they just tell us something, but we don't wait to see if it's really true or get it confirmed by God. We meet people and we just want to trust because they had a sound of fellowship or they say a few right things. You know, we gonna have to get to the point that we be more thorough, because that's how we let devils into our lives. You know, monitoring spirit. The biggest monitoring spirits that you will find are your relatives. Okay, they're gonna try to gatekeep you into not reaching your blessings or things that God has ordained for you. They will be liars. They will talk among their friends. They will create illusions. I done had relatives lie so bad on me, you know, and say things that wasn't true, to the point I went to church, and when I got to church, this girl who knew my sister, adopted sister, but my sister, told everybody that I slept with everybody in the church. And I had brought a friend to church. We were so close that I called him my brother. And he stayed at my house a long time. You know, he had lost his roof and he stayed over to my house, and he later got his place and everything, and remained real tight, close friends. And when the word was said, this girl walks over to him and says, "Ooh, she knew him. I didn't know she knew him." And he was walking around, and a lot of people was coming to him, introducing themselves, "Praise the Lord. We glad to see you here this morning." You know, blase split, the stuff that a lot of Christians say when you're at church, when you're a newcomer. And they turn around, and one of the girls, she said she had been knowing him for years. She said, "You with her?" He was like, "Yeah." She automatically went in and said, "You shouldn't be with her because she done slept with all these guys in this church." Mind you, she didn't know how close we was, but she took my guess and told him that because she didn't know I knew him. When I said that man blew up, he turned around, he said, "Who said what?" He said, "One thing I know about her, she ain't slept with nobody." She said, "I know this for a fact." He said, "I practically told him how he had moved in and been around me every day." He said, "And one thing I know about her, she is not loose." He said, "Which guy in here saying that she slept with him?" Well, she didn't really want to say, but it came out anyway. Because when I say the whole church, he went in. The girl felt so bad and went to the pastor, and he was my godfather. They went off. And he looked at me, he said, "I would have never suspected anybody would say something like that about you." I looked at him, I said, "Well, you know I've been celibate." I said, "I've been celibate about 4-5 years at that time." And he looked at me, he said, "I know." He said, "That hurt me so bad. And they didn't even know who I was to you. And they openly came and told me some mess like that." He said, "But the devil is a lie." He called the pastor into the office, told who said it. The other person told who told them. And when I say it was a mess, because they came out crying, and the girl admitted, "No, I just lied on her." And one of them said, "Well, her sister told me this." And then my sister turned around and had to admit that she lied, that she was the one that was out there. And I see a lot of people, you bring people, significant others around your family, and then you wonder why there's a whole lot of chaos. Sometimes it's your very family who's jealous of you. It's the very family you're serving God, but just because they went to church with you and grew up around you don't mean they're serving God. Monitoring spirits work the closest and the most through your family. your friends, people that are around you, that can take scenarios and create illusions, say things, and you may not catch it at first while they talking, and portray you in the worst kind of a light. I heard this person trying to tell me about my bestie, and trying to say, well, you know, I know he had went to jail for something he didn't do, prison, and he got out. And she turned around and said, well, that's how he always be, and he just like that. He's a F-boy, and he would never get married, and blase split. Meantime, I already knew this person was married. And I stood there and looked at how people make statements about people and put stuff out in the spirit realm and playing rumors and all kind of stuff. And I told him about it, you know. He was a little mad at first because I exposed him not being really single, but he really wanted his business to himself because he didn't really want a lot of his friends and close family to know anything. He wanted to surprise them, but he wanted to be with his spouse for a certain period of time before he brought it to light, you know, so they can just bond without people all in their business. And what happens was, when it got out, everybody talking mess, and I look at them, y'all supposed to be Christian, go pray about it. And you know, I looked at them, go pray about it. And I know God was going to reveal they was married and everything, but at the same time, I look at people, and especially couples, I know you happy you're with someone, but sometimes the worst thing you can do is bring them around your family and friends of your family, because sometimes people link up to be your friend because they secretly really want to be with you. Okay? You have witches and devils on assignment. Okay? You have to be very careful, you know, about a lot of things, because people don't always have your best interests at heart. You know, and I felt so bad for this person. You know, I felt bad because I really spoke too soon, basically telling the truth, but I shouldn't have put their business out because they wanted to keep this to themselves. Okay? But at the same time, it was time for things to come out as well. And then the people try to block it, and she was like, I know for a fact. And I had to tell them, I said, that very person that you call auntie, she wants you. And then he had to see it. I said, you see that person right there, all in there, your sisters and blase split friends, guess what? They're feeding the demonic realm, giving them information about you. They don't even know they're being used by the devil, but yet some of them do. I said, you're going to have to break off. When God get ready to bless you, a lot of people that you love and seem close to you can't go with you, and you can't confide in them. Everybody's not happy for you, and you have to keep these things to yourself until they manifest, you know, because even if you're not really saying something, the devil's on assignment. Okay, when he see them with that person, they mouths got to running. I just look and I tell everybody, and I made the mistake. You can't trust people that you grew up with, that's real close to you, that seem like this, because I have walked with somebody for over 20 years, you know, started from little kids, and when they got grown, they was the very one who did me the lowest, told my secrets, lied on me, and then when things came out, they too ashamed to look me in my eye, and I forgave them and everything. But that's how people are. People get close to you to see if they can steal your destiny, if they can. And you know, sometimes, especially with females hang out with you and say, oh, I never talk to you, man, he like a brother to me. They be getting close to y'all just so they can try to open a door so they can talk to them, have a closeness to them, so they can make a statement about you to try to turn that person off from you, secretly hating you because they can't get what you got. Some people, they don't like you, girlfriends, they try to be close to you, but you look better than them, and they resent the fact that you draw people to you, you know, and they can be good looking, but people can be repelled from them because their inner spirit. You know, we all have been around a person and it's just something about them ain't right. And we be like, and they can be a good looking on the outside, but on the inside is reaping all through that. You know, it just be a vibe you get. No matter what they say, even if they doing the right thing, you just know. And when you know, you know. And sometimes God give you that little about them. But I'm just here to tell everybody, be careful of the people that's closest to you, because those are the monitoring spirits. Those are the closest witches and devils on assignment against your life. Sometimes the people closest to you, it comes a season when you have to let God know. Well, God will let you know you got to go to God, to him, to who he wants you around, and be willing to let some people go and keep things to yourself, because everybody don't have your best interests at heart. Okay, I'm gonna leave this video at this. I've been saying I was gonna post something yesterday, but it was 97 degrees. Forgive me. And I worked 16 hours. So I'm on my way to work. I'm really sitting outside my job, and I'm finna be about my business, go in, and I want everybody to be blessed. God bless you. I love you. I'm putting this word out. I have several other pages that I really gonna start releasing things into. I'm new to YouTube, and I'm getting the feel of things and studying some things, but I'm gonna be coming to y'all, and I want everybody to try to embrace me, support me, like, share, and subscribe. And no, I'm gonna put this word straight up, because I don't sugarcoat stuff. Bye.